We got a red dot, folks. Welcome back to the 330s.
There you go.
We stopped saying Akron now.
Yeah.
To the 330s hottest and fastest growing show. 330 to go. I'm your host, Hank. We got Jess here today.
Hi, everybody.
Yay.
Hi.
And we're with Jared here from the Akron Metro Regional Transit Authority in Summit County.
Serving Summit County.
Serving Summit County. Did I say that all right?
There you go.
I put it all into one. All right, folks, we got a couple of brand new EV buses. They're rolling off the line. We want to talk about those right now. I'm going to hop behind the camera. I'm going to let Jess do this one. And we got all kinds of fun for you today.
That's right. Hi, everybody. Like Hank said, Jess here, and I am with Jared. Jared, tell us what your position is here at Metro.
Yeah, so I serve Metro as the Chief Operations Officer, so making sure that all 231 of our vehicles are serving all of Summit County on all of our fixed route service, our ADA service, traditionally known as SCAT, demand response, primarily through our main transit center, downtown 631 South Broadway. So it's something new every day, something exciting, but it's ultimately great to see this many people use us and need us for daily life and everything that goes on down here in Summit County. So.
Yeah, so we are here, though, for the bus, right? The bus. So, Jared, what can you tell us about the new EV buses? Give us the rundown. We want to know what makes it go.
For sure. So this is one of two buses we just received, actually just off the showroom floor probably about a month ago now. So they haven't even been in service yet, but we've actually had two other buses that are now almost a year and a half old that have been in service almost for about 40 or 50,000 miles around Summit County on all of our routes. So what's unique about these are pretty cool. These have a range of about 350 miles. Our old ones, they're old, but they're a year old, right? 150 miles. So really at 350 miles, this bus is cool because it can do any route we have. So any of our traditional diesel buses or natural gas buses, this can do anything that we have out there, and we don't have to worry about charging or anything like that. It comes back either in the middle of the day or at night, plugs into our chargers, and it gets its charge for the next day. So these manufactured in California by a company called Gillig. Gillig is one of the main transit bus makers in the United States. When we buy a bus, it's very critical. We have strict what's called Buy America requirements, right? So whenever a bus is made in the United or is sold to a transit authority, it has to go through a rigorous testing process through Penn State University, and then that company can actually sell it. And then as long as the materials are over 75% sourced and made in the United States, we can buy it. So made in America, sourced in America, assembled by American hands. That's what we like. So just outside the Bay Area in California, they test it for about 1,000 miles, and then it gets flatbedded to us here. Right around price tag of about $972,000. So to give you some context, a normal bus is probably about $600,000.
Okay.
So a little bit more expensive, but the cost savings we've seen over diesel fuel and also natural gas, and also just maintenance costs in general over the past year, it's almost like a no-brainer for us to just keep going this route.
Yeah.
And our operators love them so much. They're fast, they're quiet. If something does happen to them, it's not like an oil leak all over the ground. It's only got one fluid in it outside the wiper fluid, and that's cooling. So they're just totally cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was a lot of specs about the bus, right? The specs. But we want to know, how does it go?
Yeah.
And so we heard, we were kind of chatting a little bit earlier, that there are solar panels actually installed on the bus. So tell us about that.
For the past 10 years, we've had a solar panel array installed in all of our buildings. So the building we're in now and our two other storage buildings have a 200,000 kilowatt hour solar system on them. And what that does, it supplies everything that we do during the day here. But what it's done recently for us, if the bus comes back and it's actually charging during the day, not like today, it's kind of rainy, but we're still getting a little sunlight. Perfectly sunny day, this bus is actually 100% off the grid. So it's actually taking all its power that it's using for charging from our solar array to actually physically charge the bus.
I can show that. It's right. I see it right up there. It's up top, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in there. Oh, it's working. We're zooming. All right, so tell us more about that array panel.
Yeah, so the array panel went in around the same time as we made a major investment into natural gas. So we kind of always consider ourselves on the forefront in transit of sustainability. 10 to 15 years ago, natural gas was the next big clean energy for us. It still is. We have a lot of buses, new buses rolling in every few months that are powered by natural gas because it's a pretty good cost-saving measure for us. But we balance that now with electricity, and part of that is how are we compensating for everything we're doing here in the best way for solar panels, keep all the fueling activities, all the bus washing we do, all the power that we need just to keep this place going every day, keeps us pretty sustainable and helps keep that electric bill down for keeping 231 buses maintained and on the road.
First time I noticed that was probably 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, down along I-70 going toward Dayton. You saw it was carports that were all attached to like these rental places, right? And they literally put in the entire roof was all solar panels. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, that's because what they're doing is they're doubling up on the technology to put it in a space that actually makes sense. And I'll be honest with you, had you not said that, would you have noticed?
I would not have noticed.
I would not have noticed. You got the whole freaking roof is a solar bay.
Yeah, so I would say EV technology has just skyrocketed in the past couple of years. 5 years ago, we were like, not yet for buses. A lot of places were doing what's called in-route charging. So a bus would maybe drive 10 or 15 miles, need a top off on a charge, and continue going. We're past that now. So we kind of equated to like the evolution of a Betamax to a VCR to a DVD, right?
And our 3-3-to-go audience loves electronic vehicles.
Hey, look,
the sarcasm is palpitating here.
Oh, that's fine. I would encourage anyone. Look, I will take a bus ride with anyone. So if you can get a hold of us at Metro and you're curious as to how one of these goes, I can tell you where it's going to be, what route it's going to be on, and I will literally come take a ride with you. And so you can see kind of what we're experiencing. Look, we have 300 employees, almost 400 employees. So obviously we have a lot of different views on alternative energy and things like that. But I would say even our people that were hesitant of EV technology, once they drove this, they're like, okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. It works pretty well. Now, does that mean we would go out and buy 200 of them today? There's a lot of issues you got to overcome. Number one, the price, right? We're a nonprofit, we're a government agency, right? So it's already heavily subsidized. So, for instance, for these were actually paid for. The difference between the cost of a normal bus and this bus was paid for through what's called the Volkswagen Trust Mitigation Grant. So a couple years back, Volkswagen got their wrist slap because they were cheating on their diesel emission standards. And so that settlement money was divvied up among transit authorities, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, to buy zero to no emissions vehicles. So that's where two of these were born. And then also the federal government, between the Obama administration, the Trump administration, and now the Biden administration, has each of their terms added to the amount of money that's available to us for what's called federal low-no emissions programs. And that helped by the other two that we have. So, that subsidy helps. The other part, too, is charging, right? If I had 230 of these, how am I going to charge them all at once? That's a huge drain on the power grid. So that's kind of the things where the technology still has some space to evolve. But on the surface right now, this looks great. It's saving the taxpayer money when it comes to just daily operations, right? I'm paying on a natural gas bus, a diesel bus, I'm probably paying $800 or $900 bucks a week in fuel. This, maybe $150, $200 a week in charging.
Okay, so I have a question for you. You just said you would offer to go on a ride with anyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I am hearing that I may have an opportunity to drive a bus.
Let's go.
So can we pack it in and give it a whirl? Cross your fingers, everybody.
Well, hold on. So let's show us the stuff, too.
Yeah, go ahead. You go first.
Okay,
and
all right.
I'll come in behind you.
All right.
And you guys can
So some of the features on this bus before I get to the driver area. One of the lessons that the pandemic taught us is that we're trying to eliminate as many touch points as possible. So we do have this new system to be ADA compliant for our passengers that they have a mobility device. This is actually a fully automated system where somebody in a mobility device can back into this and it'll secure them without anybody having to get in their personal space or touch them or secure them, which is a huge advancement in that space.
So hold on, let's take a look here.
Yeah.
All right, so they back into this area here.
Yep. And I'll flip it on so you can see.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
We're doing the bus.
Yep. So they'll back in, they'll hit a button, which I just showed you there. I will need a wheelchair.
Okay.
And then this device secures the wheelchair.
I see. I see.
Now we are good to continue moving. Okay?
Wow. Okay. And then and then the buckle just comes down over.
Just comes down, and then if they do need assistance, they can ask for assistance for that.
Okay.
Some of the things that we're also doing now on all of our buses, you know, we offer mobile fare payments, right? So the days of a paper fare we still have, but most people, just like Starbucks app, Dunkin' Donuts app, whatever you got, we have an app too that we work in conjunction with some of the other transit authorities in the area on to create mobile fare payment. If we're going to require people to use their cell phones to track where their bus is at and how to pay on the bus, we're also going to give you options to charge your bus. So believe it or not, every seat now has USB-C and traditional USB chargers, which is pretty cool.
Wait, so that's on the bottom of every seat?
Every seat or in the front of the seat, right there. Yeah. So every seat.
Wow.
And then there's free Wi-Fi on the bus too. So all of our buses are equipped with ChargePoint routers. I can't remember the name of the top of my head. I got a lot of technology on the bus. But anyway, so they have a router on there, and everybody has the same access because the buses need the Wi-Fi to communicate all the scheduled data that it puts off to Google when you use your Google Trip Planner or the Transit app to find out where your bus is at. You can also use that same data feed for free Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Cool. The other thing too, one of the other things the pandemic taught us is air quality, right? So all of our buses are equipped, all of our newest buses since 2020, we're working on outfitting the rest of the fleet with an air ionizer, right? So all the air that's being circulated through the bus is treated before it gets back onto you, the passenger. That was key to keeping our operators safe in the height of the pandemic, and even now that we have got a little bit of an uptick in COVID, still obviously a thing for our operators, keeping them safe, right? They're sitting up there and they're going to have an interaction with everybody getting on the bus, so we try to keep them as safe as possible as well as you while you're riding. Up here, so let's see here. This is just the computer our operators use that tell them where to be, when to be. Lets us communicate with dispatch as far as speed, next bus stop, all that kind of good stuff that we need to track. And then the controls of the bus are pretty simple. One of the beauties of training our operators on how to drive EV is there's no difference in the controls between this and regular bus. Right? The only real difference is how it drives and how you kind of operate. If you've driven an EV, you kind of know you got that instant torque. Well, on a bus, it's pretty severe. Like you can really accelerate quick on these things. So it's kind of just learning that feel of it, how a new vehicle will drive. But from here, our operator has closed circuit TV from inside and outside the bus, so they can see some of the blind spots. And also, there's a digital display where they can see the range. The cool thing about the range is it's got a battery logo just like your phone, right? It tells you, all right, you got 250 miles left and you're at 74% charge. So, trying to get operators to think like that, right? Okay, I got 234 miles. You might be driving in your car and it says 234 miles, right? But when an EV, you kind of have range anxiety, right? That's the new thing people talk about. It's no different than your car. But for us, we know it's okay because the route only goes, on average, 110 miles. So we know, okay, that's fine. You'll get back and be good. So even if you're stuck in a traffic jam or whatever, we know we have enough range. Want to drive?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right. Safety first. You're going to want to buckle up as soon as you sit down. For your and mine too.
Are they getting on?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, guys. Everybody on the bus.
I'll go this way so you're all...
Yeah.
We're just here for the ride.
Right.
Hey, can you go down to the bus watch? Make sure we have
Big seatbelt.
Where's the connector? Am I sitting on it? Yes.
You guys want to go through a bus wash?
Yes.
I mean, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Obviously, it's cool, right?
maybe tackle the bus walk.
I'll drive it through the bus wash.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty confident, but
These are, I don't know. My favorite line is Jurassic Park, right? Dr. Hammond, he likes to touch the dinosaurs when they're born. These are my babies, right? So, I'll still.
I mean, sounds good. All right, give me this.
So first thing we want to do is we want to close the front door. So right here on your left, that big round switch.
This here?
Yep. Turn it one notch to your right.
To my right, this way?
Yep. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Got that.
So,
Door's closed.
yep. So now we want to adjust the steering wheel. There's a lever right there.
Okay.
Pull it up towards you, and then pull the steering wheel down towards you. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
I'm not going to worry about your mirrors too much because I'm not going to let you hit anything.
Okay.
All right.
For that.
So you don't have to do this now, but this is the process for getting it into gear, right?
Okay.
We have a parking brake, the big yellow button there. Mm-hmm. You're going to have your foot on the brake, so make sure you can reach it. You might need to scoot your seat up a little bit. Red button. Here. Hold the red button down and then scoot up.
Oh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Can you comfortably? Are you good?
So let me get this right. So let me get this right. There's 7,000 electronic devices on this bus, and the seat is still manual. I'm sorry, I love it.
New math, right? Some things don't change that.
I love it. I love it.
The tried and true technology still remains.
All right.
All right. So can you comfortably touch the brake?
I can.
And then the
Yeah.
accelerator right next to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what you're going to do. Go ahead and put your foot on the brake all the way down. Okay. And you're going to push that parking brake button all the way down. Keep pushing real hard. Like punch it. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
And then you see reverse neutral drive.
Yep.
By the way, I should point out that we're live. I'm not giving you instructions on how to drive any Metro bus. There is a litany of security things that happen for us to get to this point that I'm not mentioning. So don't just think you can just get on a bus and do this. All right.
This isn't the movie Speed.
This
Got
is,
it.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah, very good point. So go ahead and hit the D button. And you are now in drive.
Okay.
Really, the cool thing to mention here, the only thing you hear right now is the fans that are running in our electronic cabinet to keep all of our computer equipment cool. The bus is running, right? It's ready to go. So if you just take your foot off the brake.
Okay. And I'm going out that way.
Yeah, you're going to go between these two buses here. So you got a little bit of a maneuverability challenge right up to that. All right. So take your foot off the brake.
Just be Nick Chubb, find the hole.
And it's going to idle pretty fast. So just maybe kick your foot like right there on the brake, feathering it. And just cut it hard right.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
We're not live or anything, Jess. Don't worry about it. We got a comment came in. It says, "This guy is really passionate about his job. I'm not being funny. I love it. It's not a question that was asked that he didn't answer. He's doing a great job."
Oh, nice.
So
We're going to go left.
Okay, do I have a turn signal?
Don't worry about it. You're all right.
don't hit the bus driver.
I'll do my best. Okay, here we go. Still cruising.
All right, so you're just going to take a wide left here. You're going to kind of go the way we first came in.
Okay, round the back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Feel pretty good?
Yeah. I almost want to. Can I push the gas a little?
When we get on the straight part.
Okay.
All right.
This is very smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Yep.
So again, from a mechanical standpoint, it's all battery underneath.
All that, actually battery underneath and on top.
On
and
top.
in the back.
Okay.
So 5 batteries that are all 90 kilowatt hour capacity.
Okay.
Which gives us that range. Go ahead and hit the accelerator real quick. Let's see. You're not going to mess anything up, I promise.
Is
Go
it
for it.
front and rear wheel drive?
Just rear wheel drive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, really smooth.
Yep. Just watch lots of buses coming around the corner here, bro.
Oh, great.
We don't want bus on bus crime.
Yeah.
Bus on bus crime would be bad live on the air.
We don't want that.
Wow.
There you go.
What a cool experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and swing her around wide, and you'll go back through if you want to do another loop.
Okay. All right. Let's do that now that I have a clue.
Yep.
And then, okay.
So
Keep talking. Keep talking
Yeah.
about this thing.
so batteries.
What about all these cameras and stuff I'm looking at here?
Yeah. So the cool thing about our camera systems are here for that added layer of comfort for both our operators and our passengers. The cool thing about them is they actually have a live looking capability. Our chief of police is probably watching us right now. So hi, Sean. But but we do have that capability. So an operator calls in and says, which by the way, I should preface this with, this very rarely happens. We have what we consider to be one of the safest transit systems in the country. Right? We do not have incidents where we're really concerned about people's safety. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they are on our buses all the time. Never an incident. Great. 99.99% of people on our buses are just trying to get to working back. We are their lifeline to get around, medical appointments, work, all that stuff, school. But we do have those things in place just to say, hey, look, if an operator has an issue with somebody, we can live look in, see what's going on, and make sure the right help is there.
Yeah, that's super important.
Yep.
Very cool.
And also, too, look, I mean, this is a $1 million bus, right? And when it gets in an accident on the road, somebody hits us, we want to have that, as stewards of public money, we want to make sure we have everything in place to protect us, protect other people that might need that footage. Our bus cameras have also saved things too. I'll tell you how. So if an area agency, area police department knows something happened on a block or something like that, they might ask us, did you have a bus in the area? They know then that a camera might have been there and they can see something. We do know of a story like that where they're looking for a missing person and they now have a crumb trail where this person went based on our bus footage. So it's definitely cool with that.
So cool.
You can do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You look nervous, like it's fine.
No, I was stopping because I didn't know.
We're gonna switch? We can
Should
switch.
give it a whirl?
Yeah, I'll try.
Would that be okay?
What's the speed limit?
What she did.
There's 12 miles an hour.
I want to see what this baby can do.
And neutral.
And then pull the parking brake
the
up,
parking brake
We-
up.
and then you're good. Just unbuckle, there's a button right there.
What? Another question came in from Becky. She said, "What route are the EVs going to be on?"
All of them. So any of our fixed routes, we do not need to put them on any specific ones. You might. The only one you probably won't find it on is our 61 express service up to Cleveland. That's traditionally more of a commuter service. We have run them up there, but we have some different buses that do that service. But any other route we have, you'll find these on a daily basis. So. Our most popular routes, the 1 and the 2. The 1 going up and down Market Street, all the way up to Fairlawn, and the 2 going down Arlington, all the way to Green. You'll see those on the 2. They're great for that. So any route we have, you'll see these buses. All right, you want the tutorial? You look nervous. Are you nervous?
No, not at all. I drove a bus once before and a semi.
Yeah.
And it was for a AAA tutorial video.
Okay.
This was back in.
Did they invite you back for a second time?
Oh yeah. So this was back in the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
Hoban High School. Richard Duffy was the president of AAA at the time.
Okay.
And like the entire road service dispatch center was all like Hoban soccer players, like all of us. It was all Hoban kids. Okay. And so so they used us to do like some demo stuff, to do like some commercials.
Gotcha.
I drove a semi 100 feet, so it was cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah.
So you're a Hoban guy?
Yeah.
Cuyahoga Falls, go Black Tigers.
Yeah.
All right. Red button.
Actually, they don't suck this year.
They're doing better.
Because we run a high school football show, and all of a sudden Falls is winning, and everyone's going, wait, what's going on?
Wait a minute.
Right.
Red button.
I just did.
Slide it up as you're holding it.
Okay.
And your foot's on the brake. You can put your foot on the brake, stop it on
This is the brake right here.
Yep.
That's guess what it.
Yep.
Hey, just to point out, Justin mentioned it earlier. These are full pedals. In other words, this is a foot-sized pedal, so it's not like you're doing back and forth. You gotta move you gotta move that leg. Okay. All right.
Foot on the brake.
Right here.
Yep. And then parking brake button. You're gonna shove that all the way down. There you go. And then put the D button. Right there. Hit the D button. Just press it once. There you go. You are now in drive.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's shall we?
You went right for the accelerator.
Yeah,
right?
you did.
That makes-
So Jess, you didn't point out that immediately engages as soon as I let go of the brake. Okay. So that's a powerful engine. It's a powerful motor. I use the word engine. There is no engine.
It's not an engine. It's that motor.
Okay.
Motor is made by Cummins, so for our mechanics, similar diagnostic tools that we use on our other engines. Cummins makes our diesel engines, our natural gas engines, and now our drivetrain motor for EVs.
Do you have any steering wheels that have that handle?
No, that's actually not legal in Ohio.
Okay.
To have,
Really?
yeah, I can't even remember the term for it. They're really cool. You might see those in like New York City Transit or something like that, but no, that anything that's affixed to the steering wheel is a no-go.
An obstruction.
Yeah.
Jared, about how many passengers do you guys have on your buses on any given day?
So pre-pandemic, our daily ridership was about 20,000 people.
Okay, every day.
Yeah, right now we're back up to about 14,000.
Okay.
As I look at my marketing, we're actually, right around 14,000 a day. So we're slowly seeing So you gotta do the bus driver wave.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. You
then
did.
you got.
Come on, hey.
Yeah. Well, it depends, right?
Two hands or one?
Well, it depends, right?
Okay.
Yeah. New guys gonna be like, hey, right? But you know, act like you've been here before. You want to do maybe like a little bit, like maybe one of these, you know.
So you said you're up to about 14,000
14,000,
15,000.
Slowly seeing that number increase back from where we were pre-COVID.
So when you get that many people on and off,
Just watch going through
your bus.
Yeah.
Tell me about drivers and give me the scoop on if somebody was interested and wanted to
totally
explore that.
Our trainer. Right back here.
Trainers. Trainers. Everybody wave. We do have passengers on this bus, everyone.
So Holly, our CDL trainer.
Okay.
She will
Say hi,
train
Holly. Hi.
If you do not have a CDL, she'll train you. We just did 3 massive hiring events. We're still hiring. If you go to our website, yourmetrobus.org.
Okay.
You can see the
say
application
that one more
process.
time.
Yourmetrobus.org.
Yourmetrobus.org.
You can see our application process. What you got?
Just, I want to point out these cameras here. In other words, so are these both right and left direct?
Yep.
Or the 90s?
Yeah, they're 180s.
Okay.
So you see the whole length of the bus.
Yeah.
On the left or right.
Yeah. So you get that view.
Yeah.
Let's parallel park this baby. I'm serious. I want you to show me how to back it up.
All right.
I'm gonna go in this area.
Sure. So try to keep it in the lane here. Let's do that. I'll actually do this actually part of the CDL test is maneuverability, just like your car. Actually parallel parking is one of the maneuvers that you have to do. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to get you from this lane to that lane.
Yep. That was what I was thinking.
Stop here.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
One from the brake.
Real quick before we do that though. So the operator thing, right? Always hire an operator, good friendly people. So who succeeds at Metro? It's a very different job. Our new people are on all sorts of shifts. We are almost 24 hours worth of service at Metro. Union based, it's going to be seniority. It's a great life, but it's a different life for your family, right? It's going to be what you make of it. It might be nights, weekends, holidays. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that. But it is a career for a lot of people. Holly started as a bus driver.
Sure did.
And now she's a CDL trainer. I started as a student bus operator for the Ohio State University.
That's right. Go Bucks.
From there, I went to Greater Cleveland RTA, and then now here. When I told my parents in college that, hey, Mom, guess what? I got a job as a bus driver. She's like, yeah, that's exactly why I'm paying for you to go to college, right? It's exactly what we're doing. And it ended up being a career, and now we all laugh about that. So here we're hiring, starting pay just north of 17, like $17.68 an hour, but you're at top rate, which is $31.99 after 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years, and so that's good. Our benefits are fantastic. Everything's great. You pay into the public retirement system, and most people do try to make this a career. What makes you successful here, though, is do you like people. I can literally, as evidenced by this past 15 minutes, I can literally show anyone how to operate a bus, right? Mm-hmm. That's the least of our concerns. It's how you interact with people.
Yeah.
If you're not a people person, if you don't have that high level of empathy and customer service, you won't do well at Metro. So we want to make sure all the people we're bringing in, that they just know how to treat people, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? So we all have family members maybe that we take care of. So if you've got a grandmother, a mother, a parent, whatever, how would you want that person to be treated if someone else was driving it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the relationship that we try to get people to understand what we do. So, yourmetrobus.org. We are always hiring. Apply. We actually have 8 new people starting on Monday, and then we'll probably be I'll be pestering our HR department to get me maybe 20 more over the fall here too. So apply now. Great. Hopefully you'll get in, talk to all of us, and see if you're a good fit. All right, you want to try it?
Yep.
All right.
Parallel park this thing.
So here's the game plan. Put it in reverse. Don't move it yet. You're going to cut the wheel all the way left before moving the bus.
All the way left.
All the way left.
You feeling this?
Keep cutting until it won't go anymore. You're not going to brake.
That sound is making me nervous.
Yep. Go ahead and take your foot off the brake. And you're going to be watching this mirror over here. going. Okay, go ahead and stop. Straighten out the wheel.
How do I know it's straight?
So you can look in that mirror and see your tire on the left side.
Got it.
Yep. Go ahead and back up. Keep going.
Brakes are very sensitive.
Yep. So the air brakes. Keep going.
Just see the line.
Yep. You're not going to cross it. It's kind of deceptive in the mirror.
There.
Yeah, go a little bit more. That's good. Stop it. Cut the wheel all the way right. And you parallel park the bus. A little crooked, that's fine. That's good. Close enough. You passed the test.
Boom!
There you go.
Boom!
All right, successfully parallel parked. All right, so can to wrap us up,
Yeah.
you're going to take us through the wash.
We're going to go through a bus wash, which one of the other hugely sustainable products we've got going on Metro. We try to wash our vehicles every night. Obviously, you can imagine during the winter, the amount of road construction we've got going on around Summit County, right? Love our friends at ODOT, but they're fixing everything right now, right? So we have to wash our buses every night from a safety perspective, right? And also, too, we have a lot of visitors come through Summit County. We want to make sure Metro buses look good, right? We want to make sure that they're representing our area well. You think about an organization might have one office. We try to think we have 230 offices all driving around at the same time that are constant representation. Right? So we have a bus wash that actually uses recycled rainwater for most of the process, right? On a day like today where we're a little bit rainy, it should be almost 100%. It has 6,000 gallon tanks, roughly. So we have a stormwater collector on the roof, filters it out, puts it in a tank, and that's what we use to actually wash our buses.
Awesome. All right, so we're going this way. You're going to hop in there. I'm going to come up where you're at.
Oh, you want to do it or you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, one more thing.
Oh, who's getting off?
What?
Uh-oh.
What? Stop requesting. We're going.
He's got a.
We're good. I'm good.
Gotta open the door.
Oh, do you really want to
I
off?
really do need off.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
She wasn't kidding.
She
us.
wasn't
I wasn't kidding.
All right. So.
All right. Okay, so Jared.
We don't. These are nameless.
These are nameless. I don't know if you want to talk to Molly about that. No.
Yeah.
So the first two buses we got are named Jolt and Volt, and that was kind of a joke around the property. Just saying, like, okay, what should we name these things? When these two came out, probably like, we should probably do something more fun to see what the name is. Okay, we're gonna stop here.
Oh, he's
We're gonna pick
hopping
up
on.
this guy.
All right.
Hey,
Here he comes.
What's up,
Say
Marshall?
hello.
How are you?
Marshall, what do you think about the e-buses, man?
These are a wonderful way to get around Akron. They're very nice, fast,
Yes.
quiet, good.
So Marshall is currently training. He's our one of our CDL trainers, but he is a bus operator. Metro. Marshall, 15 years?
18.
18 years.
18 years.
So what makes a good bus driver at Metro, Marshall?
Customer service.
There you go.
Customer service is probably the number one thing.
Yeah, you guys are very much aligned. We
Wow.
talked a lot about how important it is.
So about that, right? So I mean, obviously you do the same route all the time, or a lot of your similar routes. So you kind of get to know the people, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's like, hey Marvin, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey Jeanette, how's your day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to know everybody.
So that's what makes kind of being a bus driver a good thing, because you get your regular customers, you get to know people, you kind of know where they're going, you know who you're helping out and that kind of thing. So it's a good thing.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so we're approaching.
this isn't exactly a. It looks. Is this conveyor belt?
No, we just drive through.
Oh, you just drive through.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to let one of our vehicle servicers walk through first. He knows where to go. Okay. That's Chad. Hey, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
There's Chad.
Everybody wave to
So
Chad.
we are going through a Metro Bus car wash. Vehicle
Metro
wash. I guess it'd be a
Bus.
vehicle wash. It's not a car. Are all the windows closed?
So the cool thing about the bus wash is it doesn't matter how old you are. The answer is always yes when people want to go through it. We've had daycares full of kids. We've had senators, representatives, mayors. They all have the same response when you're like, a bus wash? Yeah, of course I want to do a bus wash.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's got the same stuff. So you got to drive straight though, right?
It has guardrails, so I can't go too far.
Clean bus.
Bus.
Which in Northeast Ohio is a big deal because we get a lot of salt.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about that name, right? All right, so here's the plan, folks. There's 2 new buses, okay? The plan with Metro right now is they, being their staff, their actual drivers, are going to name one of them. All right, so they're going to work together to come up with a name for one of them. The other plan is to use us to have the public come up with ideas for names for the other bus. All right, so here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, as soon as we're done with this live, when we get home, we're going to pop up a picture, cutesy little photo of this bus, which is currently nameless, and we are going to ask for suggestions from you, our audience members, to come up with a name, a fun and clever name for one of these buses here in Akron. Then once those names are all listed out, at that point, Metro will then pick like their top 5. They'll decide as a team, like, hey, these are the best names, and then they'll put up a poll, and that's how we're going to decide how to name this bus. That sound good? All right. So listen, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, you are a fountain of knowledge and information. We appreciate. Now, listen, so there's lots of times when we do these types of interviews and stuff, people clam up. They don't know what to talk about. In this scenario, based on her comment, what she said earlier, you could tell that you live this job.
I think we all do. We all have as everybody nods, transit's kind of a sick sense of humor, right? We love what we do. And again, it's that, I mean, this sounds corny, but it is that impact on the community, right? We have a lot of great stories. Follow us on Instagram, right? We have Summit Stories. Our Instagram tag is
Summit Stories _.
So our marketing department tries to take some of our employees, some of our riders, and highlight them through Summit Stories, where you can kind of hear about some of the great stuff and what people are doing. So you're driving a bus. You might have 30, 40 people on here that are all doing something, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of the facilitator of that. We try to eliminate the stereotypes of public transit, right? Our goal is maybe not to get you out of your car. I mean, we were all indoctrinated when we were kids in this Rust Belt area that the ultimate goal in life is car ownership. But we are a feasible option for you. You should try it. It might work for you. And this is just one service, too. Like I said, we have our SCAT 88 Demand Response Program. So if you're a senior, disability, something like that, probably a reasonable solution for you to get the doctor's appointments and things like that. And it's not that hard. I always tell people, like Google Maps. Everybody uses Google Maps. Literally, if you just swipe right, left on Google Maps, there's a bus option, right? And that bus option shows you how to get to the same destination on public transit. And literally, every city you go to, we all report our information to Google, right? So Google has live tracking to say, hey, the number one scheduled to be here in 2 minutes. It costs this much to ride. It has this many people on board. It has all that data. So just try it out one time. Again, anybody on the bus with me, we probably all would ride with you. Go get some lunch or something.
And we, you know us, we've been doing this a while now, and we monitor our comment section pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And
we love comment sections.
A comment that came in.
Yeah.
This was probably 3 or 4 days ago. I can't remember what the post was about, but somehow Akron Bus Metro came up, and the lady said, "I used to live in Akron. Now I moved back to the area." She said the bus routes used to suck. She said, no, she said 20 years ago, you couldn't get anywhere, and it was very limited.
Yeah.
And she said that Akron is now completely caught up, and now the bus routes, especially incorporating Canton and Cleveland into those equations, that it is caught up with what a normal big city would be, to the point where you can literally get anywhere in the city.
For sure.
Yeah, with very minimal walking.
It's funny you said 20 years.
Yes.
That's like the last time we changed routes, right?
Yeah.
So, two things have happened. Number one, towards the 2009-2010, Summit County voters were gracious enough to pass our tax levy. So 0.5% of the sales tax that you spend in Summit County helps go to fund Metro, right? Believe it or not, we don't make money doing this, right? All the money that goes in the fare box maybe accounts for 10% of our entire operation. The majority of our funding comes from federal, state, and mostly that sales tax money. This past June, we did Reimagine Metro. So we literally gutted our entire fixed route network. We looked at frequency. We looked at the new census data for travel patterns, population patterns, income patterns, all over Summit County, and relayed what a perfect fixed route network would look like based on our budget stable scenario, right? Mm-hmm. And now we have services like up and down Arlington and Market. You can get a bus every 15 minutes during peak times of the day. Actually, during most of the day, right? We have new service that connects all the way up to the North County through Cabot Falls, Hudson, Stowe, Twinsburg, and we have this great new connection in Cleveland with their transit authorities, RTA, in Southgate and Bedford, where you can get down into Cuyahoga County, right? So we have that going on. We have a connection to get out to Kent. We have a connection to get down to Stark County. So a big part of it too is those interagency agreements. You know, there's no reason why we should be mobility limited. We don't like hearing like, okay, I can't get anywhere because.
That's SARTA down there, right?
SARTA.
So do you include both airports?
Hopkins, no, but you technically could take a Metro bus and make a connection. So if you took one of our 61 routes and took it to Tower City, downtown Cleveland, runs 3 times a day in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, you could take the red line out to the airport. So you technically could use our service.
What about CAK?
CAK, you can connect our main transit center downtown, 631 South Broadway. SARTA, they have an airport express that runs down.
Yeah, so that's a point again that came up in comments. Yeah. You know, when we talk about EVs, when we talk about public transit and all that kind of stuff, I brought up, I can go like right now, I can walk down to the end of my street with a suitcase, and I could get on a bus, and I could go to New York City, I could go to Chicago, I could go to anywhere without having a vehicle.
Yeah. Our intermodal transit center downtown, you can make that connection with Greyhound. I think they have 3 routes now, one that services DC daily, Cleveland, Chicago. So you can make that connection there. We also have Go Bus, which is an ODOT run service that services the universities in Ohio, comes through our transit center, services Bowling Green, Kent State, Akron, Ohio State, OU, Miami.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get anywhere.
Folks, we could actually talk for another hour about all this stuff. He could just go. He could just go.
I'm going to plug myself into the chart.
He could just go. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you following us. We appreciate you following them. Once again, we're going to work together to name this bus. That's going to start here in about a half an hour. But yeah, Jess did a great job driving. I was a little bit choppy on the brake. But I did get to back it in, and I almost got it completely in the lines. I was close, all right? But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for following us. That's all I got. That's all she's got. That is certainly all he's got for now. But if you want to set up an appointment with him, I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to you. All right?
And make sure you follow Summit Stories on Instagram, right? And Facebook for more fun stuff coming out of Summit Metro.
Hey, that's all we got. Until next time, I don't know where I'm going, but there ain't no sense of being late. Take care, folks. Have a good night, everybody. And everybody out there, and you guys, say good night, Shirley.
Good night, Shirley.
Good night, Shirley. That's not the name of the bus, is it?